Hey. On the video. Her name is Tisha. Hey guys, I wanted to put this new intro on here real quick because I screwed up the whole video. I don't know why, but the audio didn't record, but I edited it up and chopped it up and put it in the best I could. The camera angle was not right. I'm going to fix that. In fact, the camera angle should be more like this. I'm gonna fix all that. Like I said, I'm learning, but I chopped up the intro. And Tisha, Tissa, dang, I looked at her name and still, I'm terrible with names. But y'all go to her channel, check her out and everything. This girl is sharp, man. So without any further ado, let's get into this video. What's up, YouTube? Look here, man. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you do, people gonna like it, or people gonna be above you doing it better than you, or people gonna hate it. People gonna be wishing they can do it like you. No matter what you do in life, so you might as well do you. You might as well do you. Tisha Tales. Shout out to Tisha Tales channel. Y'all go over there and show her some love. Every time we do a reaction on somebody's videos or somebody's channel, I try to show them love. They took their time to put these videos together and everything. And as a reactor, I want to show my appreciation to them. That's what the channel does. This is a weird setup. I don't know what it look, but anyway, I'm doing the best I can to bring y'all the facts so y'all can decide. And I'm also doing the best I can to let y'all know what's out there. Now, woman claims to be Diddy's victim exposed. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, please. Because, you know, we did a video. They was talking about clout chasing. Maybe I should put this behind and I should take this off because I'm a sound technician, y'all. And see, all this stuff would be clanking against the mic, and you know, I try to bring the best quality as that I can, because that's what I'm used to doing. Quality. Anyway, this lady has came forward, and she's saying that she got proof that what she's saying is not true. Now, personally, I believe her, and I'm gonna stick to that. Because I can read people and say what's happening. But the more I listen to her story, it's like facts that something did happen to her. Something did happen to her. But her memory, because she was on all these drugs and stuff, you can't tell what parts are true and what parts are not true. Or what parts she think may have happened. That's what I think. I think something happened to her. I think she remember getting in that car. I think she remember going to see to meet up with Puffy. I think she remembers all that. But I also think that some of the things she's saying is she getting off the internet, and it might be twisting up in her mind. But I believe that something happened to her, and I believe that because she said some things that nobody knew or nobody thought of, and be like, oh, that's a good point. And it's almost like you had to be there in order to know this. And now that we know it, we look at it differently. Just like we doing everything else, and we like, no wonder why Puffy was doing that. You mean to tell me all this time that wasn't a joke? Stuff like that. And it's just more of my heart telling me what's going on. But anyway, let me stop talking, man. I talk too much. So, and this, God dang it, I didn't mean to talk this long because this joint is long. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, we actually need to talk tattletales. Listen.
And one of the things I wanted to say is listen to her voice. Listen how personal this gets with her. And these are the signs for me that I'm really checking out. You know,
a lot of you guys told me to look into having a young woman on my channel. Okay. And before I looked at people on my channel, I like to actually look at what people are saying to see if things line up. If you guys don't know, we are in the middle of the Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy is this close to being let out on bail. The prosecution has been clear and said that approximately 2 weeks ago, Diddy started a misinformation campaign. Okay. Now, you guys, I prepared a PowerPoint. I have verifiable facts, literal facts, and court documents to back up everything I'm saying. I am not asking anyone to believe me or not believe me, but I am going to give you hard, verifiable court documents coupled with what the prosecution has actually said to identify things, what the prosecution has said, what the people that filed court records have said, verifiable court records and facts to back up everything I'm saying. All I ask is that you guys allow me to actually just let me cook, okay? The prosecution
let me cook.
is very worried right now. Why? Because they said approximately 2 weeks ago, Diddy started a sea of misinformation. This isn't speculation. They went in court docs. One of the reasons that Diddy's bail was denied wasn't just that he was intimidating witnesses, harassing witnesses, bribing witnesses. About 2 weeks ago, the prosecution went on record in numerous court filings and said that Diddy is running a PR misinformation onslaught from out of his jail cell. It wasn't him just posting cute birthday, daddy, we wish you a happy birthday. It wasn't just them showing baby love crawling across the table. He had his goons, his private investigators showing up at influencers' house, telling them that if they changed their story, or better yet, gave a platform to people that would help Diddy change his story, there would be money involved. The video's all over the net. We did a video about that, okay? On top of that, one of the reasons the prosecution is saying is he is so dangerous is because he is trying to, again, there are prosecution records here. He is trying to taint the jury. How is he tainting the jury? By going on a PR misinformation campaign, getting people to say stuff that, again, prosecution words, not mine, getting people to say stuff so that when it gets to court, the jury will be tainted because they will have heard so many weird, fantastical things that they are not going to know what to believe. And all he needs is for people to give these people platforms, okay? If you guys watch my old lives, the prosecution, here are the records direct from the pleadings. I'm paraphrasing what the prosecution has said, okay? Again, they said that he is trying to tamper and taint the jury. That's why they think he should not only stay in jail, but they need to monitor everything they do. They said that they have proof that he instructed his family members and third parties who are not their lawyers to reach out, to platform people, to amplify, to watch the analytics, but most importantly, to make it seem to any reasonable person that anything Diddy has done can't be believed. Because there's all these people saying crazy stuff. Who knows what is the truth? One person says that they were forced to do this. Another person, who knows what the truth is? Again, this is called a misinformation campaign. It's poisoning the well. It's throwing dirt in people's faces so you don't really know what's going on. Okay. Again, they said the defendant is not entitled to a jury whose views have been deliberately manipulated by outside influence to be biased. Again, jury tainting, witness tampering. This is what the federal government's going through. Okay. Why do I say this? Okay. Because there was an interview that actually surfaced. Again, this is more proof. Diddy also used three-way calls to reach certain individuals not on the approved contact list and used a non-authorized third-party system to send hundreds of text messages to dozens of individuals, including those not on the list. These dozens of individuals were giving marching orders, reach out to influencers, pay people off, platform people that might, for whatever reason, have very sad stories and that are confusing what happened to them in their life to what Diddy did. Okay. Now, hear me out on this, because this is the most glaring, shocking thing. And I cannot, in good conscience, just let it go. Because again, really quick before we actually get into the audience, into this, I'm just waiting for a few more of you guys to get into the room, but I'll be quick about this. Really quick while we have a quick 30 seconds. You guys, this is a pivotal time for the Diddy trial. Diddy did not get this powerful and this smart playing by the rules. I know a lot of people don't believe or don't understand what a disinformation campaign is, but what you do is you poison the well. If everybody is saying, okay, A, B, and C, you send an equal amount or even more people to say D, E, and F. So by the end of the day, we're like, well, I really don't know what to believe, because so-and-so said A, but then so-and-so said B and they were exposed as a lie. So maybe A is exposed as a lie. Again, it wasn't just witness tampering. It was also jury tainting. So they start to say that everybody that's saying crazy stuff about what happened to them with Diddy had to be lying. What does this have to do with the Diddy victim, Mesha? That had something to say. Again, influencers are targeted by private investigators or over Diddy-related content. A lot of people were wondering what that had to do. Here we go. What that had to do with anything. I think we have a prime example, and I have the evidence. And if you guys will be patient, I will actually expose this to you guys. This picture, okay? This picture was accompanied by an interview. In the interview, this was actually said, okay? Listen to this and turn your sound up. There were many inconsistencies in the video that can be actually proven. But this particularly is the most egregious, because this victim that's here, I have the court docs on. I know a little bit about it. This victim and her story and her bravery is not going to be allowed to be tarnished by someone's lying. Either the person that gave this interview doesn't know the difference between reality and not. I'm not discounting the fact that something might have happened to her, but this did not happen. This young woman that came forward as a Jane Doe, it's still in court fighting. She had a story. She was brave enough to come out when nobody believed her. She is in danger. She is in hiding. The prosecution is doing the best to protect her. And for a charlatan, Johnny come lately, to come forward and try to claim her pain as clicks and views is something I'm not going to allow. Yes, this is personal, and I will actually stand on this. This is what was said among a bunch of other inconsistencies that not just jeopardize the trial, but I do believe fall prey into, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to accuse anybody of doing anything, but listen to what was actually said. Turn your sound up. Hold on, let me turn my sound up.
You go, girl.
All that, and I'm not even ready.
Get that
Hold
together.
on really quick. This young woman claims to be this woman in the Dolce & Gabbana tank top with her face blurred out. Okay? And I know a lot of people were so eager to believe it. Hear me out. I didn't watch the whole video. I saw some clips. People sent it. I watched as much as I could because this actually is personal to me. She is not the young woman in the tank top. And I have definitive proof on that. Out of respect for the young woman that was laying on the table with sushi, that is her story to tell. She is not that young woman on the table either. She literally came and said that she was a victim of everyone. I have proof to back up what I'm saying. Just let me cook. She says that she can't find a lawyer. She needs a lawyer. Okay? She's saying all these things implicating Roger Bond, this, that, and the third, Kimora Lee. She said Sarah Chapman wasn't pregnant. Sarah Chapman was 100% unequivocally pregnant. And I know this for a fact. Okay? Well, it can be, listen. On top of that, let's get back to the tank top because we're going to deconstruct this piece by piece.
Okay.
The whole thing, she tells a story about when she was his tank top. Harvey Pierre takes her to Diddy's place. She is a songwriter. Harvey Pierre takes her to Diddy's place. They assault her in the bathroom. They do this, they do that. Oftentimes when you're running a disinformation campaign, truth is mixed up with fiction because some of those things did happen, but they happened to this young woman. And I'm about to show you proof. This, and on top of this, okay, to actually then go and say that Cassie, the girl that had the bravery, more bravery than any man in the industry, and more bravery than any woman in the industry, to cast the first stone against this monster Diddy. And then we saw her in hallways getting dog stomped, worse than a bug, by this monster. To say that the reason it happened and to spread the misinformation and this stupid lie that they're trying to float, that the reason why Diddy laid his hand on Cassie is because Cassie tried to steal $100,000 cash from Diddy. That's a lie. It didn't happen. The prosecutors have already said that's a lie. But let's get into destructing about whether this young lady was the young lady actually in
the hotel where she's getting beat.
Yeah, that like it's old. Like she got beat. Like they just now putting the stuff out.
How do we know it's a lie? Because this woman that was there saying that was her, and she doesn't have any pictures and crying, my picture. This woman that's begging for counsel. Do you know why she can't get a lawyer? Because no lawyer will go through it with a 10-foot pole. Because either, and she is confusing reality that happened to her and maybe traumatized her as a young child with somebody else's truth. And again, maybe all things can be true. Maybe she was victimized by Diddy and them, but she's not the woman on that table, and she's not the woman in these photos. How do we know? Because of this lawsuit filed by Douglas A. Wigdor. Who is Douglas A. Wigdor? Douglas A. Wigdor is Cassie's lawyer. He is also the lawyer to a Jane Doe, the woman this woman Mesha is pretending to be. Where did people get those pictures? They got them from the federal lawsuit that Douglas Wigdor filed showing Jane Doe, who, by the way, has testified under penalty of perjury in front of the grand jury and in front and a duly declared declaration in this motion that she is a citizen of Canada. On top of that, she released multiple photos which her attorney, Douglas Wigdor, put in the filing last year with the Southern District of New York. You see every single pair, her in the studio, her in the jean skirt, her sitting on Diddy's lap. This woman took a victim's story.
She hit the mute button by accident, y'all, and it's going to stay muted for a little while, but that's deep, man. These pictures, these pictures are public record because somebody filed a court case, and people are taking these pictures and using them in their stories for clicks and views. Us YouTubers, you know, I admit, but I'm just bringing y'all the news, so to speak. I'm not making up a story. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing is bringing y'all the stories that these people are actually bringing. She's gonna come back in a minute, y'all. She is, boy, she heated. I like her. I really like her because she looking and trying to bring out the facts and prove to you all that she's bringing out the facts. I really like her. Y'all need to check her channel out, man. You want some real information? Get it from her channel. You want some real information?
Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay,
here we
sorry.
go. Here we go.
I'm back. How long was I ranting with no sound?
You go, girl.
Okay,
that's okay.
That's
you human.
Mute,
you human.
Mute. 9-7. Okay.
This is what I like. Us reality show, the reality side, you know, cutting and chopping things out. We like it raw. The people like it raw. You know, I don't know where to look no more. We like, at work, I'm looking here.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Y'all know me when I get on my pulpit. I'm on my apple orchard box. Rick, thank you so much, B. I appreciate you. B just texted me, was like, T saying no sound. Okay, thank you, B. You guys, show B some love. Okay, so listen. This woman, let me be fair, okay? Because I saw a little bit of the video, and this woman, obviously, okay, is someone's victim. Something happened to her in her life. Many people, it sounds like, traumatized her, humiliated her, violated her on every angle. I will never take away a victim's voice. But I have to say that that woman is someone's victim. But she, for what she said in that interview, is not Diddy. She's not this woman in the Dolce & Gabbana tank top. And you have no right to masquerade under someone's pain and to spread misinformation and lies that can jeopardize a lawsuit and let in my opinion, a violent criminal out because of your own trauma. Your trauma from the past does not give you right to hijack somebody else's trauma when they are going for justice. It doesn't. The federal government, read the briefings. I just put the things up here, literally want Diddy in jail because they said 2 weeks ago he began this misinformation campaign. A misinformation campaign is people that give false testimony, bear false witness, people that say, oh, yes, and do, people that try to cause confusion. It's called poisoning the well. And let's not forget that they are going to be doing the most over the next year to make sure that influencers platform these people. Now, I'm not suggesting at all that anybody has done anything untowards. I'm telling you what to look out for. The picture where she said it was her, why they got my picture out there, the lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, Cassie's lawyer, put these pictures out there. Every picture that was shown is a picture of another woman that was brave enough to separate from the back. I knew something was wrong where she claimed to be this and that and telling her story. But as soon as you got to Cassie, and this is what made me peek up. As soon as she got to Cassie, I said, okay. And there we go. Because Cassie's the girl that started this. And you took the time out of your whole story to not only disparage Cassie, but to say that the reason she got beat in that video was because she knows for a fact that Cassie took $100,000 cash and stuck it in her in a backpack and left. When we see that backpack, and the prosecutors had already said that that's a lie, this is a narrative that Diddy's team wants out there. He's been trying to get out there because he wants everyone to believe that when he beat Cassie worse than a dog, it was because she did something so unforgivable, he had to. And just for you guys being like, oh my God, you don't know this Douglas Wigdor guy. He might be afraid of Diddy. Maybe he let her come out. I'm going to show you guys court documents. And we're going to go over those court documents because the story Mesha tells is almost word for word what was put in the federal lawsuit for this victim that I know for a fact is a victim. I know for a fact. Douglas Wigdor, in case you're wondering, oh, well, you know what? Diddy's just probably trying to intimidate somebody. Diddy's just probably trying to do this. Diddy's just trying to do that. Let me tell you who Douglas Wigdor is. Douglas Wigdor is one of the best litigators for SA out here in not only the U.S., but internationally. Douglas Wigdor took down the head of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank. This man was expected to be the next French president. He actually had to drop out of the French presidential elections. Again, Mesha's story. The woman claims she was just 17 years old. I know the dates are off. When she met Pierre at a lounge in Michigan, where he supposedly forced her to have blank in a bathroom while he was smoking crack. Jane Doe says Pierre called Diddy and she spoke with him on the phone. Afterwards, he chartered a private jet and flew her to a studio in New York where the SA allegedly took place. Oh, it's more. I have more details. We're going to get into this, but let me just go, right? Douglas Wigdor right now is locked in a bitter legal battle on Jane Doe's behalf, the woman in the D&G tank top, the woman that is not Mesha. Because Diddy's team has been trying since last year to remove her Jane Doe status. She's been trying since they've been trying since last year to remove her Jane Doe status. Douglas Wigdor to this day is fighting tooth and nail to keep her secret. Do you really think that the lawyer that took down the International Monetary Fund, Cassie's lawyer, we haven't heard from Cassie yet. Cassie hasn't said a peep. Didn't go to CNN, didn't go to 2020, didn't go to Cheyenne Roundtree or Nasty Dillon, didn't go anywhere, but he allowed his client, who, by the way, everybody that testified for in front of the grand jury, right? Everybody that testified in front of the grand jury, including Courtney Burgis's shady stuff, is literally under a gag order to not speak about any of their testimony.
Courtney, she said, including Courtney Burgis's shady stuff. I tried to tell you, I'm picking them out, man. When I got you, I pick you out. Watch this.
But he allowed his client, who, by the way, everybody that testified for in front of the grand jury, right? Everybody that testified in front of the grand jury, including Courtney Burgis's shady stuff, is literally under a gag order to not speak about any of their testimony. Courtney Burgis is talking, but he's talking about Kim's book. He's not talking about what happened in the grand jury. They are under a gag order to ever talk about anything they discussed in the grand jury. This woman that's in a D&G tank top actually testified in front of the grand jury. She is trying and fighting her best every day for identity to remain a secret because she truly believes that if it was to get out, her life will be ruined and destroyed. Who does this imposter think she is that she can get on someone's YouTube channel and steal her story and use it to defame Cassie, the person that blew the lid off of Diddy? I mean, technically it was Gina Han, but we didn't know Gina Han was telling the truth. And I sincerely apologize to Gina Han for even joking about it. Gina Han was the first. Nobody believed her because nobody knew who she was. Cassie came out. Everybody believed her. Douglas Wigdor is fighting for Jane Doe to this day. Diddy's lawyers are throwing the book at her, trying to get her identity revealed. Why, if they just fell out the motion in U.S. court, would you go on a channel and be like, here I am, and then steal this girl's story? Why? Again, can plaintiffs retain anonymity in SA civil cases? Our founding partner, Douglas A. Wigdor, weighs in with the New York Times. This guy is heavy. This guy is legit. He has every major media outlet at his fingertip. This is her lawyer, the girl in the D&G tank top. Okay? On December 9, 2023, counsel for Diddy and Harvey Pierre indicated they do not consent to Jane Doe's motion to proceed anonymously. Jane Doe's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, explained, noting he did not disclose her identity to the Pierre's counsel and that both Diddy and Harvey Pierre already know the woman's name. There's more. Hold on, right? There's more. For those of you, listen, Diddy then posted, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, my troops. Let me tell you something. Diddy wasn't lying when he said he will fight for his name, his family, and his truth. I told you guys, and I didn't want to speak on it, but I have to. We have to literally be aware. There is a war of misinformation. The devil waged a war against God in heaven. I don't even care if you are religious or not. Everybody knows what a war of disinformation is. And the way there will be false prophets, false witnesses, people bearing false witness for whatever reason. Maybe they are confused. Maybe they're mentally ill. Maybe there's a seed of truth in what they're saying. Or maybe it's something more sinister. I don't know. I really don't want to disparage someone. But you cross the line when you literally try to hijack someone's pain and suffering, and you make a mockery and you use it as an excuse to then disparage the person that brought this all about. For those of you guys saying, well, maybe it's because Diddy's so powerful. No, let me tell you something. This man took down the head of the IMF. The IMF is the International Monetary Fund. They are the world's bank. The IMF currently every year lends out about $695 billion. The guy that Douglas Wigdor took down was Dominic Strauss-Kahn. He was the head of the International Monetary Fund. He was at one time the most powerful, one of the most top 10 most powerful people in the world. And as much as people think that Diddy, the sun rises and falls in Diddy, and he has all these billionaire protectors, let me tell you something. These billionaire protectors bowed down to Dominic Strauss-Kahn. Okay? They bowed down. This man was supposed to be next in line to be French president, and he had to drop off. He ended up resigning from the head of MIF. 695 billion, the capacity. That's around 932 billion American dollars. And Douglas Wigdor, the Jane Doe's attorney in the black Dolce & Gabbana top with a blurred out face, literally bought this man to his knees. You think Douglas Wigdor gives a F about Diddy? You think that he gives a F about Diddy's billionaire protectors? Ron Burkle, if you believe he's a protector, is maybe worth 3 or 4 billion. Dominic Strauss-Kahn was literally rolling with 932 billion, like literally triple the economy of most sovereign nations. This man doesn't fear Diddy. He doesn't. And that's why he was the perfect person for Cassie to actually go with. But moreover, right? Dominic Strauss-Kahn was an international finance executive, head of the International Monetary Fund, accused of S.A.ing a maid when he was.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry, let me shut up so y'all can hear. 932 billion around. That's crazy, man.
He was the perfect person for Cassie to actually go with. But moreover, right? Dominic Strauss-Kahn was an international finance executive, head of the International Monetary Fund, accused of S.A.ing a maid when he was at, oddly enough, an IMF some type of conference in New York City. A maid came into the room. He tried to S.A. her. All these things happened. They tried to make her look crazy. They tried to make her look stupid. People said her life was in danger. She had to go into hiding. However, Douglas Wigdor stood against somebody that was holding 932 billion. Diddy don't know. I don't give a F about the Clintons. I don't give a F about his political things. I don't give a F about any of his billionaire friends. You're not holding 932 billion. That's it. That's it. Douglas Wigdor stood and literally got it done. So for anybody doubting that this lawyer is even legit and, oh, maybe Diddy got to them, baby, we thinking too small. You thinking too small. You thinking too small. He got her a settlement that allowed her to disappear. She is doing well, but we have not heard from her since because the money she got literally allowed her to literally get off the grid. But let's get into whose life Mesha actually hijacked. Okay. First of all, the girl Mesha, we'll just talk about it, right? In short, does this sound familiar? When she was just a teenager, she met Harvey Pierre and a third assailant in a lounge in Detroit, Michigan. While at the lounge, he insisted he was best friends with Diddy and even called Diddy from the phone. Diddy convinced her, even though she was half his age at the time, to accompany Harvey and the third assailant on a private jet to come to a studio in New York City. Does that sound familiar? Before they left for the private jet, he smoked crack in a bathroom at the lounge, in which he also S.A.'d her by forcing her to give him sloppy toppy. Harvey Pierre, a third assailant, and another gentleman, does not sound familiar, then escorted the high schooler to a private jet, which flew them to Teterboro, New Jersey. There were SUVs awaiting the group at Teterboro, and the four of them were driven to Daddy's House recording studio. Sound familiar? A studio famously owned and operated by Diddy. While at the studio, Diddy and associates, including Harvey Pierre, plied her with drugs and alcohol. As the night wore on, she became more and more inebriated, especially to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone, much less anyone twice her age. While at the studio, she was gang raped, by Diddy, the
Grape
third
and
assailant, and
smack.
Pierre. While Diddy was graping her, he complained he could not get off unless she pinched his nipples as hard as whatever, right?
Right.
Diddy then watched as a third assailant, who Miss Doe had not even realized had begun to have blank with her, raped her as she told him to stop. He took his turn. Harvey Pierre took his turn graping her and then violently forced her to give him sloppy toppy, during which she was choking and struggling to breathe. When he finished, she left her on the bathroom floor alone. She fell into a fetal position to lay on the floor. But JJ was in pain. Finally, after a period of time, she regained her bearings. However, she could barely stand up following the graying grape and had to be helped to walk out the building and back into the car. She was taken back to the airport and flown back to Michigan. However, she has very limited recollection of her transport home and only remembers being in the car sometime in the morning. Look what we have. This was filed on December 6, 2023. Remember when she was like, how they get my pictures? What's going on? That's me. That's me. You can see my shoulders and my frame. Douglas Wigdor put those pictures in evidence. Unlike many victims who have come forward after decades, Miss Doe can prove she not only met Mr. Combs. She not only met Mr. Combs on the night in question, but she was in his studio in New York City with him that night. Remember, when viewing these, Miss Doe was 17 years old. Here we have the famous picture that Mesha said, and y'all heard at the beginning, just to be clear, it was you sitting on Diddy's lap and that Dolce & Gabbana tank top. Now, anybody taking this image could have simply just did a reverse Google image search and they would have took you to this lawsuit. But whatever, right? It was you sitting on that thing. Yeah, that was me. And then she went on to disparage Cassie and say Cassie got beat because she tried to take $100,000 in the bathtub. Tell me how a victim is disparaging the main victim, the prosecution's lead witness. Are you poisoning the well? Are you mentally unwell? Is there something else going on? Maybe. I just know that these pictures that this woman claims it's her, and we're going to get into the details of the case, because when you go into detail, she is reading what happened word for word. And I get the fact people can be like, well, maybe it happened to more than one person. And they said that was her in the pictures. And you said that was you in the pictures. Again, we have by the bed, her standing in the thing, sitting on the lap, and right here. She lived with her memories of this fateful night for 20 years, during which time she suffered extreme emotional distress in every aspect of her life. Let's also not forget that plaintiff is a citizen of Canada. She is a citizen of Canada.
Wow.
Okay? But let's get into the factual allegations, right? She lived at the time this happened, she lived in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan. A citizen of Canada means that means she lives in Canada right now. At the time, did he have many connections to Michigan? Let's get to the one evening between the spring and fall of 2003. Like she said, she was out with friends. It was not uncommon with her and friends to have frequent bars and lounges in the Detroit area. Certain of Miss Doe's friends were well connected with people in the music industry. On the evening in question, she was with friends in the lounge when she was approached by who she later learned was Harvey Pierre. Harvey Pierre was with his own friends, including the third assailant. Harvey Pierre repeatedly complimented her appearance, saying she was hot, among other things. Does that sound familiar? He began talking about his self-described best friend and brother. He said Diddy would love to meet her. Sound familiar? He even called Diddy and put her on the line. Diddy told her that he would love to meet her and she should accompany Pierre to New York in a private jet. Shortly thereafter, he directed her to go with him to the bathroom at the lounge. And once inside the bathroom, he began to, smoke crack. After she talked about that. After he finished that, he took out his blank and demanded she blank. After essaying her, he directed her to accompany him, the third assailant, and a third member of the group to an airport in Michigan, where they had prepared a private jet. Does that not sound familiar? The jet landed in Teterboro Airport. There was an SUV waiting. She got into the SUV with Harvey, the third assailant, and the other member of the group. went to the recording studio. When she arrived, she was escorted into the building where she distinctly remembers seeing a sign for the company Technicolor. Upon entering the studio, she encountered Diddy. At the time she arrived, a female recording artist was using the studio as Diddy and her parents watched on. She finished up shortly with Miss Doe arriving after they left. While still in the studio, so also the fact that they said her parents, it is being said that the parents, the reason they said that is the parents also actually remember seeing a different woman's parents, remember seeing the Jane Doe in that Dolce & Gabbana tank top. So at this point, there are 4 people outside of Diddy's people that can 100% ID and testify that this woman is not Mesha.
Whoa, great point. Now I'm being like her. I keep forgetting to turn the volume back up. I'm trying to, because there's other things going on, and this mic picks up way too much, and I'm trying not to interrupt. But somebody's parents was in the studio that can testify and everything. This thing is getting deep, man. It's getting too deep.
While in the studio section of Daddy's house, he asked J. Doe to sit on his lap and take a picture. Again, that picture with the blurred face. Everybody wondering, why is her face still blurred? Because it was an illegal document and because this woman is still in court fighting.
I'm going to say something at the end and bring out some great points. Y'all going to be like, ooh, never thought of it like that. It could be a thing that they was all doing, more than one person. Every time they did this, they didn't do this once. Think about it. Every time they did this, they could have brought out that same shirt and said, this is our trophy picture. It could be a lot of girls with the picture like that. It could have been just a thing they was doing. So, but at the end, I'm gonna explain more on that.
Fighting for her identity to be kept secret, while there is somebody pretending and masquerading to be her, spreading misinformation. Maybe they can't, again, I want to be fair. Maybe there's mental illness going on. Maybe she's mixing up what happened with her and other people with the story she read about this young woman, because there is some trauma that took place. Something happened. My goal is not to say that woman is not a victim. My goal is to say that woman is not the girl that was sitting in these pictures on Diddy's lap with these photos. These weren't secret photos that were found. It wasn't proof. She literally screenshotted them from an actual legal court document that was filed quietly right after Cassie. And the reason why Douglas Wigdor and all these lawyers that know that this is not Mesha has not come forward is because remember that gag order Diddy fought for? Remember that gag order Diddy fought for to make sure that nobody that's testified in front of a grand jury can speak about what they spoke about or speak about the case. Meanwhile, Diddy is waging a misinformation campaign. Remember the prosecutors, if you guys watch my live, stood in court and said Diddy literally asked for a gag order to silence all victims and their attorneys, so he could literally bring out a whole misinformation campaign of people that were queued up, that were supposed to go on social media platforms in order to sway the public's opinion about what Diddy did. Now, I know what you guys are saying.
I'm sorry, I gotta say something because I'll be forgetting if I hold on for another hour. First of all, this thing could have happened to both of them. They doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. They get somebody on this private jet, fly them around so they can get freaky deaky. They take the picture, same shirt, everything. And they probably did this to understand that, well, if this all come out and the people, whoever took this picture and blurring out that face, they got the original picture without the face being blurred out. So that will tell the proof that this is that girl, whichever girl it is. It could have been the exact same thing going on. So I forgot what I was going to say. Let me see.
All victims and their attorneys. So he could literally bring out a whole misinformation campaign of people that were queued up, that were supposed to go on social media platforms in order to sway the public's opinion about what Diddy did. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Well, her story was pretty bad. It made Diddy look worse. Yeah, no, it didn't, except for the fact that that's how you poison the well. You bring so many people out saying fantastical things that actually sound unbelievable. Putting snake venom in cups. Where did you get the snake venom from? She literally jumping around. They were mad at me because I put snake venom in their cups. Where did you get the snake venom from? That's not something you can buy from Costco. Like, okay, right? But even aside from that, what happens is the Courtney Burgesses of the world, right? Who, by the way, they just letting Ariel Mitchell and them run around crazy, the whatever. If and when, or maybe if, they are exposed as lies, then everybody that believed it and everybody that looked at the casual headline be like, damn, I really believed them. So they was lying about that. And I really believed it. They were like crying. They said they had, Courtney Burgess says he had videos, blah, 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 blah. They were crying. They were this. Well, then if I believed them and they were lying, then does that mean these other people are lying? Because they were crying too.
True.
And they sounded like they were telling the truth too. So maybe everybody's lying. You know what? I don't know what to believe anymore. Maybe Diddy's not the monster. Mind you, you got everybody on Diddy's side being like holding hands, talking about we are the world, we are the children, we are the, literally singing Hands Across America, whatever you call it. And now Diddy is looking like, yo, he seems like a good dude. He a loving dad. He doing this, he doing that. All these victims came out and they lying, except for the fact of the victims that came out are speaking on social media platforms when the government is sitting there begging you, come forward. If you know anything, come forward. We will protect you. We will fight for you. We will make sure this man never sees the light of day. Come forward, says all the civil attorneys. We will make you a very rich person and make sure that you have enough money that you can get the mental health you need, the access to mental health services so you can heal and move past this trauma. Come forward, please. But you're not. You're not. You're giving interviews about how you know for a fact Cassie was beat in the hallway on that video because she was trying to steal $100K. That's funny. The grand jury don't seem to know that. And neither do Diddy's lawyers, because Diddy's lawyers tried everything they could to say it was a loving relationship. You don't think when they were out on bail and they had to explain why Diddy dog stomped Cassie, you don't think they would have said, Your Honor, it was in the middle of a robbery. What do you think they're saving that for? A gotcha in court?
She's sharp. She's sharp. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's some sharp people. Gather your information. Lean toward one side if that's what you want to do. But don't go flaying off at the lips first.
Again, Diddy's lawyers don't even know about that 100,000. That dumb rumor that Diddy's team was trying to spread a long time ago.
This is why I haven't read the book yet, because I don't believe the information in this book is 100% facts and is real. I don't believe that. And I don't want, when I do read the book, I don't want it to change my mind about the real information I'm getting. You see what I'm saying? This came from Courtney. Courtney has said that he lied. I'm not saying Courtney is a liar. I'm not saying that. Courtney said that he is a liar. And I went on different YouTube channels and heard the lie that he said. And then he went on somebody else's podcast and said, they brought it up saying that, well, you told him this. Oh, I just lied to him because he was getting on my nerves. So if you admit that you lied, how much lying is in here? Then you got somebody else that rewrote it. And then Courtney said he didn't even read the book. Wait a minute. Courtney, you putting out a book and you ain't even read it? I can't touch the book. I can't. So that's what she's talking about.
Saving that for a gotcha in court? Again, Diddy's lawyers don't even know about that 100,000. That dumb rumor that Diddy's team was trying to spread a long time ago. At least I believe it was coming from Diddy's team. Or maybe it was just dumb people on the internet that never want an abuser to be held accountable. You know? So getting back to what I said, and I will stand 10 toes down, tell your trauma, tell your story. But who is anyone to disparage the brave people that actually came forward and opened themselves up to ridicule before they knew Diddy, the giant, would be taken down. This young woman that filed suit December 7th, she was ridiculed. She was mocked. Diddy's team, this is why Diddy posted, enough is enough. Diddy's team are still ruthlessly fighting, trying to get her identity revealed. But she got a good lawyer. Think about why all the lawyers in this case, once everybody testified with the grand jury and that gag order happened, everything went quiet. Have you heard anything from Little Rod? Have you heard anything from Cassie? Have you heard anything from the attorneys Tyrone Blackburn, Douglas Wigdor? Have you heard anything? Even Tony Busby, quiet as kept, he announces new cases, but once they testify in front of the grand jury, have you heard anything from his victims? Why? Because everybody, doesn't want to jeopardize the investigation, and they were abiding by that gag order. And Diddy, the federal prosecution even said in the bail hearing that Diddy specifically wanted that gag order. So the real victims that are, well, I don't want to say real victims, the victims that have come forward that are pressing and are testifying will be silenced while he platforms people that are just yapping, just talking. Let's get back into this lawsuit, the real trauma that was hijacked by, and again, my heart goes out to Mesha. She clearly has experienced some trauma, clearly. And maybe there were points in her story, maybe, but the shit about Cassie, the shit about Sarah Chapman, the shit about this young woman, the shit about Kamora Lee, the shit about Roger Bonds, the shit about, listen, I'm not here to disparage someone. I'm here to uplift the victim and make sure that her story, her plight, her pain, the thing that ruined her and sent her on a lifelong struggle with substance abuse is not disrespected and turned into some mockery that is going to be used to help free the very man that literally forced her to file this lawsuit. That's all I'm saying. But listen. Oh, gosh. Anyway, right? Listen, at the end of the day, we're entering into the age of misinformation. I showed you guys my evidence. I'm going to keep going in it. I showed you guys my evidence. My goal is not to dissuade those that don't want to be dissuaded. Time reveals everything. I have said that if you guys have been following my channel from the beginning, I have been eerily right months in advance about what was going to happen to Diddy, what was going to happen with the grand jury indictment, whether there was a grand jury going to be convened, what was going to happen with the grand jury, what his charges were going to be. I still doubled down on what the superseding charges are going to be. I told you guys about the apology. I told you exactly within 17 minutes of it dropping when it was going to be made the day before. I told you what he was going to say in the apology. I told you what order he was going to say in the apology. I told you what the grand jury investigation was saying. I told you what the feds were looking for. I told you what was going to happen. I said it was going to be RICO when everybody else was like, oh, it's just DB. I got called a liar. I got called this. I got called that. My point of saying this is that believe what you want to believe. I'm telling you what I believe to be true. And I'm giving you my evidence that I use to make up my mind. Again, the evidence is there for you. Don't believe me. If you want, go to my channel, review every single thing. You don't got to believe me. I actually don't care. I'm talking to the people that are concerned about Diddy actually getting out, and the people that are actually just thinking about like, you know, listen, there are so many channels open for Diddy's victims to get justice. Not even justice, protection, real protection. Diddy is sending his people, investigators, the federal government said it in the bail hearing. That's why they want him in jail. He is sending his investigators to harass even influencers that are talking about Diddy. They are scared for the lives of anyone that is testifying in the grand jury. For you to just speak out willy-nilly on social media, again, there are other channels to assure justice. protection, monetary relief. Douglas Wigler took down the head of the International Monetary Foundation that had $963 billion. Nobody Diddy knows or could even take a glimpse. That's real money. That is the world's 0.0001%. That is rarefied air. Elon Musk can't even hang at that level. Jeff Bezos is like, what? Since he gave McKinsey half his fortune, is that what? 500 something? This is a level of wealth that comes from the old school, old money European colonizer. That's that my great granddaddy invented the slave trade, and these are the spoils of their labor. That's that insidious, evil money. Diddy don't got access to that. He wanted access, but he didn't have access. All right. You can't say Diddy's so big. They want to come and just do random interviews instead of going. You guys, I will say this. If anybody knows anyone that knows anything, 1-877-4-HSITIP. The battle is not won. Diddy can be out on the street tomorrow. Diddy can beat the odds. If this little misinformation campaign really does taint the jury, like the federal government is really worried about it happening, 1-877-4-HSITIP. Dial the number. They'll take anonymously. They will thoroughly protect you, assure justice, and what's more, you will be placed with counsel. And of course, you always have an option to go for also monetary relief if you need. And again, it's not just monetary to buy a big house. I'm sure anybody that's had to go through this, you need mental health healing. If you want to pay for spiritual healing, you can go to the best spiritual healers and get your chakras all aligned, right? Diddy is in jail right now. If you know anything, you can help him stay there. You can recoup damages.
Some of these people, like Mesha, is so afraid and so confused. These are street level people. These are people that been abused by damn near anybody they thought they trusted. The churches done abused them. The area they live in is full of so much abuse. They don't know how to step out, and they don't know how to read people. I know how to read people. It's a gift. They don't know how to read people and say, this person is a snake. I don't know why in the world they trying to act like they all that good. So my point is, they don't know who to trust. So that 1-800 number that you just told them and all this stuff, Child Protective Service, that sounds like somebody we can trust. Child Protective Service, that sounds like somebody we can trust. The Red Cross, that sounds like somebody we can trust. Come find out that these people are doing some shady stuff. Allegedly, gotta say allegedly. So that flag is up now because of this social media stuff. Yeah. So I'm letting y'all know that look at 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. She done said it 3 or 4 times that her caseworkers are the ones that was putting her into that mess she was in. Yeah. She has Mesha says I went to the police. I'm telling the truth. So she just telling it. She telling it to anybody who would listen now. You got to go through that. But the reason why nobody would take her case is because she can't remember. She was drugged up. She don't have no pictures or anything like that. And anybody that would take her case would say, that's me in the picture. And so the lawyer's smart. They'll look it up and they found this document and say, well, how can you say that's you in the picture when this girl is saying it's her in the picture and it's documented? Just because it's documented, that don't mean that she could have lied, and she just documented her lie first, right? This is the stuff I was going to say at the end. The girl could have got those pictures before Mesha. This is Mesha in the pictures, allegedly, let's just say. The girl could have got those pictures, and she really thinks that that's her in the pictures because Puffy been doing this is the shirt that we're going to do everybody with the pictures in. Just in case we get caught, everybody going to say this is them and it ain't them. You see what I'm saying? So now this person that filed the paperwork is saying that it's me. When all along it probably is Marsha. We don't know until we get the blur off the face, and you probably still don't know them because it's been so many years ago. Both girls done grew up and changed. So we need AI again. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much of a mess, man. I'm sorry, I done stopped it for a long time.
You can get free psychological, spiritual help for the rest of your life. Literally.
Right, from somebody you don't know. And in back of their mind, they so torn and scorned that I don't know if I can trust these people, because every time I go to trust somebody, they screw me. That's what these people are thinking. Every time I go to trust somebody, I get screwed. Then I end up drugged and baby oiled and all this stupid stuff. I don't know about these people. They don't know. They poor things. They so not uneducated, but they don't know how to research to trust somebody. Even in your daggone churches. Come on, y'all. T.D. Jakes and his crew. Sorry, here we go.
Help him stay there. You can recoup damages. You can get free psychological, spiritual help for the rest of your life. Literally. I get it. When it comes to these type of destructive things, money doesn't solve the problem. Any true victim will tell you money doesn't solve the problem, but it can give you access to things that can. But let's get back into this, because we actually have to talk about how many things in the story overlap. This girl in the D&G tank top, that is not Mesha. This is something central to Mesha's story. And the girl that is on the table, I will show you proof too, that is not Mesha as well. Anyway, right? She was escorted into the building. Entering, she saw Diddy. While in the studio in a section of Daddy's house, Diddy asked her to sit on his lap to take a picture. There's a copy of the photograph. Diddy, the woman, Harvey Pierre, and a third assailant began to ply her with copious amounts of drugs and alcohol while the evening became a blur. She recalls Diddy, Pierre, and the third assailant hitting on her insistently, roking her body and asking to see her blank and telling her how hot and sexy she was. Other pictures were taken in the studio that night, leaving no doubt this is a legal filing from December 7th, 2023, that Miss Doe was in the New York studio that night. Here we have again the same girl in the various places where Mesha said that was her. It was not. As the night wore on, she became more and more inebriated, eventually to the point that she could not possibly have consented to having sex with anyone. Nevertheless, he directed her to accompany him to the bathroom of the studio. He removed her skirt and blanked her from behind while she hung over a sink. She did not consent to having blanked, but he continued blanking. At some point, he turned her around to face him. He told her that he could not get off and asked her to squeeze his blanks as hard as she could to help him. He then turned her back around and continued to blank her. At this point, she was coming in and out of consciousness because of her next memory was looking up into the mirror above the sink to find that a third assailant had replaced Diddy and was graping her from behind. Diddy was watching blankly blank from a chair outside the bathroom. At this point, she mustered the energy to tell him to stop, and she did not want that. He did not stop and continued to grape her. She didn't have strength. After the third assailant was finished, he was replaced by Harvey Pierre, who began to have non-consensual blank with her before violently forcing her to give him sloppy toppy. During the latter part of the assault, he forced her blank into her blank. She remembers he was sweaty and she had difficulty breathing. When they finished, they left her alone in the bathroom. She fell to the floor in a fetal position and lay on the floor. She was in pain. Does that not sound familiar? However, she could barely stand up following the blank. They took her to transport, being in the car. As a result of being is plagued her life and personal relationships. Listen, she said she knew that speaking out against the defendants would be extremely difficult, and she would likely be subject to retaliation and defamatory remarks, slurs, and attacks. However, in November 2023, she read about a lawsuit filed by Cassie Ventura. It described a decade of physical, sexual, and mental abuse. Most triggering for her was reading about Cassie's allegations of sex trafficking and being forced to have sex with other men against her will. She obviously understands that she too had been sex trafficked, and Diddy's behavior in forcing women into non-consensual rape was not an isolated thing. Just days later, she read about a case filed against 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. The suit alleged that Pierre used his position of power at Bat Boy to groom and sexually assault his former assistant. Seeing two other women bravely speak out against Diddy and 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 respectively gave her the confidence to tell her story, hence why she has filed the suit. And just so we are clear,
I thought something went wrong with the computer.
Just so we are clear, so you guys aren't like, oh, well, that's not what said. You put in 20 on 10, sound up. Just so we're clear.
Now you just to confirm, you were the one that had the D&G tank top on, correct?
Yes, I was. Dawn saw me in the studio. She saw me. I put her in the documents. Yeah, she saw me. Everybody I named, they saw me. Cassie saw me. When Cassie was running, Cassie was mad because she had to watch me on some. And she ran off with that money. And that's money in that duffel bag she was running with.
That's crazy.
You talking about in the hotel where she's getting beat?
Yeah, that's like it's old. Like she got beat. Like they just now putting the stuff out. But that's money that he keep in that duffel bag. She was trying to run with that money.
Now, again, why would a victim throw dirt on Cassie's name, the head witness for the prosecution, the woman that bravely started this all? Never mind the fact that even the prosecution and the witness and the defense both agree that Dawn met Diddy late 2004. Late 2004. These photos have a timestamp of 2003. These photos were authenticated by Douglas Wigdor's office. They have a timestamp of 2003. Dawn met Diddy in 2004. Dawn agrees. Diddy agrees. The prosecution agrees, and so does the defense. Mesha and her age, even that doesn't add up. Dawn couldn't have been there. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. She said she was in the studio with Dawn. Dawn wasn't there. Everybody agrees on that. Dawn did not meet Diddy until 2004. But even then, I don't want to get caught up in details because there's so many things that if somebody just did a simple Google search, they would have found. Forget about like not finding evidence that it's wrong. Because, you know, if you don't find evidence that's wrong, it could be right. I'm talking about just finding evidence that this is all an outright lie. And it is either somebody that is very sick and lonely, confusing reality for somebody else's story and mixing it all together at the best, and that's a sad best, or at the worst, it is somebody that is being amplified by Diddy's claim of misinformation. It's funny how all these people are now coming forward when the prosecution literally said that for the past 2.5 weeks they filed their first thing, but they said that since the day Diddy got in jail, but it's ramped up in the past 3 weeks, that Diddy has officially unleashed a PR campaign of misinformation. And if you think that this man, literally the only thing he has up his sleeve is this kid singing on Happy Birthday, I have a bridge to sell you in London, New York, and California. Why we're at it, right? Yeah, listen, again, there are details. And again, I do want to say with the misinformation campaign, I've noticed some things and I just want to talk about them. And I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just telling you my opinion of what I think. You look at when Tania, who I 100% think is telling the truth. She is the blank worker that was on the Soft White Underbelly that went on a few other places and said that she was at a party at Diddy's house. And she saw little kids in bobs dressed as Harajuku. Now, Tania, I find her story, and I'm not going to tell you how, but I find her story to be 100% believable. 100% believable. And there are very people that have corroborated that.
Also.
But more
Something happened to her,
importantly,
but I think
when you look at the
because of
misinformation
all the
and the
drugs
way
and different
people
things, I
try
really
to
think that
normalize things.
she's admitting
After
that she
Tania
can't
said that,
remember the
Tania or
dates and
Tanisha,
time.
excuse me if
So
I'm
she
getting her
got the
name
dates
wrong,
and time
said
mixed
that.
up. So if you
DJ
know for a
Envy,
fact you
who
mixing up the date
out of
and
the
time,
blue decided
what makes
to
you
do an
think that you're
interview
not
being like,
mixing up
yo, I
that
think
that's you
Diddy's
in the
getting a
picture?
unfair
How can
shake
you
and
prove
we
that's you,
shouldn't be
that's you in
talking
the
about it
picture?
and we should wait. And I'm
You
like, why
probably
is
took a
DJ Envy
picture.
defending
Do
Diddy?
you
Like,
remember
what
if he
is
had on
going
that exact
on?
same coat?
And then
It's
for
more than one
Halloween,
picture, man.
DJ
So
Envy dressed up his little
let's talk
kid
about the.
in a
She
revealing
said little
swimsuit
people, and I'm
with a
so
bob
stupid. I'm over here
wig
thinking midgets.
and
I'm
said
like,
she
well,
was
dang,
little
some
Kim.
people, because I'm
And
still
then
trying to
him
make
and his
everybody
wife
adults.
was like, with
I
that
don't think
fake
people
laugh,
do this to
trying
kids,
to act
and
like it
that's
was
how
the
we
cutest
think.
thing
Us
that they
normal
saw.
people,
Now, is it related?
there's no way somebody as big
I
as
don't
Puffy
know.
can be.
I do find the timing suspicious. I
Having
do find, and Twitter
stupid stuff
found what
going on
was
with
kid was
kids,
wearing
underage
was
people. Not at that
super
level. You're too
inappropriate.
big to be doing something that's stupid.
Tania
That's how I'm
telling all of
thinking.
us what
Because
she
I
saw at the
wouldn't
freak off
do
party
nothing
in
like that
Miami
with
with the kids
Anyway.
in Harajuku, Bob's
So my
running
point
around.
is, when she
DJ
said
Envy
little
is coming
people,
out the blue
I
defending
immediately
Diddy for no
jumped. My
reason.
mind jumped to
And then
like
you post a
midgets
weirdo
or,
Halloween post of your
you
youngest
can't call them
in a
dwarfs or,
super
I don't know,
weird
short people.
revealing swimsuit
Adults, small
and a burnt coat,
adults.
and
What
she
are you
got
supposed
his
to
leg
say?
kicked
You
up
gotta watch your
posting
mouth
with
on
a
this thing.
bob, and
Can
y'all
we
like
say
trying to
midgets?
basically
I don't know. Here we
normalize
go,
it
y'all.
and let us think that's, and you're trying to normalize it and let us think that's what, cute? It's no big deal to see 6-year-olds dress hyper sexual bobs.
Misinformation.
Again, is it a coincidence? Maybe. What did I also find a coincidence? Again, I'm just talking, right? I remember when Diddy's house got raided, and I remember how I was just like, what the? Well, I wasn't like, what the hell? Because I told y'all that raid was coming. Y'all call me a liar, but I told y'all the raid was coming, and the raid came, right? I found it odd. And in that lawsuit with Little Rod, and I was like, yo, the raid's coming. That lawsuit with Little Rod, Lucian Grange was named in that lawsuit. Lucian Grange is the head of UMG, the same man Drake's suing. I find it odd that I think it was either the same day as the raid that Cardi B posted a weird Instagram live where she told a story about, well, guess what? The police in LA be tripping because my house got raided. And they took us all outside and made us strip down butt naked and searched us out in front of everybody. And I was like, Diddy's house just got raided. And now you're trying to say you got raided? And it was all over the news. When I say news, TMZ and shit, that Cardi B was also saying she had gotten raided and they just did that. And the LA police be tripping. And it was so fantastical that the LAPD came out and literally issued a statement being like, you a bold-faced liar. That never happened. And I'm like, wait, what? Cardi B said that same day Diddy got raided, that she had gotten raided a couple of weeks back, but we didn't hear anything about it. And she said SWAT was around and there were helicopters flying. And I was like, how did we not know that? The LAPD came out and said, you are a bold-faced lie. That never happened. No, first TMZ came out and said the LAPD said they have no record of anything like that happening. The story was still picking up steam. Then the LAPD came out and said, you're a liar. That never happened. And then Cardi B came and said, oh, I was just joking. Cardi B is the darling of Universal. Universal is UMG, Universal Music Group. When Cardi B just had her kid, right? They gifted her with look like $1 million in Hermes stuff. She is Universal Music Group's baby. She is Lucian Grange is one of his highest producing artists. His son Elliot Grange is now taking over, but it's Lucian then Elliot. Now, am I implying that Cardi B was trying to cover up for Diddy? No. But we keep looking at Diddy. There's peripheral people there too. Because maybe Cardi got a call from Lucian Grange saying, yo, why don't you tell this funny story about SWAT? And she's like, okay, weird, but sure. And then that is, again, is it connected? I don't know, but I know it's weird. And I know we're going to see a lot more weird stuff happen. And I know that we are officially entering into the age of misinformation. I know. And I know everybody's busy living their lives. And I know my job is to actually do research and try to make sure that receipts kind of add up. Again, if there's no proof that something's wrong,
What?
then it's like, okay, well, I guess I don't know anything. Right? Like it's like, okay, well, if you say that's what it is, that's what it is, right? Because at the end of the day, we believe victims.
What?
But when there's somebody coming out saying they are a victim, hijacking, and actual lawsuits, pictures, passing off pictures that were submitted in a court of law trying to get justice as their own pictures, as their own pain.
Whoa.
Literally making a mockery and planting misinformation to throw dirt on the prosecution's lead witness when the prosecution just stood in front of the court saying, Your Honor, he's doing all this mess. Well, then, yeah, no. Because more than any exclusive, more than any sort, I genuinely, and I know you guys too, genuinely want to be justice to be served. There are too many people that are evil walking around on this earth. Maybe we can't get them all, but God damn it, we're going to get one of them by the name of Sean Combs in jail, or we are going to do our best to make sure that again, I think he's guilty. I know we can't make him go to jail. I think he's guilty. And I want to make sure that the playing field is left even. I want to make sure that the playing field is left even so that it is not muddied by fantastical claims of hoo-wah gobbledygook that can be easily disproven. And I'm telling you, if the public keeps believing, and this is one thing also I want to say before I go, right? Ask yourself why, in a sea of all these people that have spoken out against Diddy, so many people that have spoken out, ask why these blogs have not, and I'm talking about like even on Instagram and stuff, and these news outlets, tell me why they have not amplified any of those stories. But the one story that they had all over the place, TikTok, Instagram, that all over the place. And again, I get TikTok, it's just regular people like YouTube. But when this Instagram, those blogs want to be paid. They don't just post shit to post it. Not shit like that. You think they randomly see there's 1 million victims have been speaking out. Are they posting? No, they're keeping it. Why that one? Why the one that was the most false? Oh, woman says this. Yes. You guys should go check this out. Ask why this is the voice that got amplified. Why?
Amen.
For what? Because when they come back and the jury can be like, oh, well, that person wasn't true. And we believe that. So why should we believe you? It makes it that much harder. It's misinformation and it's poisoning the well. Just ask yourself that. Anyway, that's what I asked. Listen, at the end, girl, listen, at the end of the day, listen, you guys can believe what you want. The best lies are wrapped around the truth. Okay? If I get punched in the face and humiliated, and it's painful to me and crying, and then you see me and you're like, Tisa, what's going on? And I start crying and I say, Mesha hit me. When I'm telling the story, my pain is real. My tears are real. You're connecting with me emotionally because there is realness behind it. I actually did get punched in the face. However, Mesha wasn't the one that punched me. The best lies are wrapped up in truth. I don't care if you guys believe her story. That's not my cause to be like, oh my God, listen, I'm not Jesus. I'm not Moses. I'm not trying to lead y'all to the promised land. If you don't want to go, stay. Everybody that wants to, let's move forward. I'm not Moses literally arguing with y'all about whether y'all crossing the Red Sea or not. Okay, stay. You want to come? Cool, let's go, baby. Listen, I am saying this, and no matter how much you want to believe, and maybe there are parts of the story that are true, okay? I don't know. I don't know what parts are true, but I am telling you, and you have seen the evidence, that the part about her being in the Dolce & Gabbana tank top and that whole point about what happened to her in the studios is literally her hijacking this Jane Doe's She's not even a Jane Doe. She doesn't have a lawsuit. This Jane Doe's lawsuit against Diddy. She hijacked another victim's story and she told it as her own. And she wrapped her own pain in it. Okay? So again, I don't know. Whatever I don't know about her life, I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't verify it. So if I can't verify it, I can't call you a liar because I can't verify whether it's a truth or a lie. But this right here, we can verify it's a lie. That shit about Chance being her baby, that's a lie. Sarah Chapman was 100% unequivocally pregnant. And Chance is 100%. Chance being her baby, Mesha's baby that she was forced to carry, that's a 100% lie. Again, parts of her story may be true. Again, who am I to call someone a liar if I can't verify something? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the parts that we talked about. About Dawn being with her in the studio. That's impossible. Dawn, Diddy, the prosecution and the defense all say that they met, not started working together, but met late 2004. This picture is timestamped 2003. They have the actual timestamp on the picture. This picture has been submitted to the court. It is evidence. The Douglas Wigdorf firm corroborated it. Dawn couldn't have been there. Chance is not her daughter. Sarah Chapman was pregnant. Chance is Sarah Chapman's daughter. This girl is not Mesha. That's it. Everything could be true. But we talking about this right here. Okay? We talking about this right here. Listen. We talking about this. Listen. Oh, yeah. Mesha also said that the Combs, thank you so much, Dog Mom. Mesha also said that the Combs twins were her. We saw Kim Porter pregnant. Kim Porter was 100% unequivocally pregnant. Chance and the girl, the twins, are Mesha's kids. That's not true. Everything else in the story could be true. Everything else about the snake venom could be true. Everything else she said about J-Lo could be true. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't verify it. I can't corroborate it. But I also can't say that it's not true because I can't find proof either way. But again, this part about everything she said that happened to her in the studio, that was a lie. It did not happen. This is not her in the tank top. It's not her. This woman, I rewind it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Chance is Sarah's child. Kim was pregnant. Sarah Chapman was pregnant. Those kids are their mother's kids. Listen. Also, the girl that's suing this Jane Doe in the picture, she actually lives in Canada. That's also in the court documents too. Go figure. And she's from Detroit. And I will say one other thing. I know what a Detroit accent sounds like. A heavy one, a light one, an educated one, a hood one. Not saying if you're hood, you're not educated, but you know what I'm saying. An upper class one, a working class one, a white one, a black one. I know what a Detroit accent sounds like. Mesha don't have no type of Detroit accent, but that's just me being petty. She could. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she from like South Side. I don't know. Right? Listen, we're not doing this. Who saw Sarah pregnant? I saw Sarah pregnant. Next question. Like literally, Sarah would show her belly while she was pregnant. She was a happy pregnant woman, just like Kim. When you saw them walking around, they would show their bellies. This isn't any... You know what? We're not getting into this. Believe what y'all want. Believe what you want. Okay? But I did want to bring this evidence, and I want to say that thank you guys. We are moving into the age of misinformation. And in the age of misinformation, in the age of misinformation, believe no one. And you guys are doing a good job of that. Don't even believe me. Do your own
And
research,
then I
baby.
guess
You
when she was
have what
ovulating
I
and
consider to be evidence,
you know,
and do with it
I'm
what
not
you
a
will.
doctor. I don't
Do with
know
it. Oh
what the
wait, let
heck
me
is
read these
going
super
on.
chats. Hold on.
But they
Hey,
took the
Deweek
eggs
Gilmer
or
say,
took her
I'm Gilmer
pregnancy.
versus
Now that
Combs.
she's
Appreciate your foot
developing a
on
little
his
bit, they
neck.
took the
Thanks
eggs
you,
out of
DeWitt
her and put
Gilmore.
it in Kim
Stephanie
or put it in
Hamilton said,
somebody.
thank you for speaking
You
the
know what I'm
truth.
saying? I'm
Stephanie, you
trying
know
my
I was
best to
going to
stay
come.
out of it.
B
But I'm
Crumbs,
just telling
y'all,
you
say thank you to B Crumbs for gifting
enough
a
for the he
membership.
say, she say
Facing Truth,
that I heard
Facing Truth
that
said
it's
this
not
really hurts
facts
true
or
victims. This
allegedly,
is the reason why people victim blame
that type of
and
thing.
shame.
But
Facing Truth,
her
listen.
story is interesting. Now, did it not happen? Something
Also,
happened.
Sherry
May not have
Cook
happened
said you're doing a
100% the way
great
she's
job
saying it.
investigating, girly. Thank you,
You know, she
Sherry.
could have
Listen,
been
I know
dreaming a
y'all
lot
got
of
real
stuff. They was
lives,
on
real
drugs,
jobs,
man. They wasn't on no
doing the
weed
thing. Y'all
or
busy.
no coke
He'd have been
or
sleeping.
no
My
heroin.
job is to stay
They
on
was
top of
on
stuff.
some
And
horse
literally, when y'all want to
tranquilizer type
hear about
stuff.
something, I do my best to
So
investigate to see. Again,
this
like I
drug
said,
that they
I'm
was
no
on
one.
turn you
I'm
into a
giving y'all
zombie.
the
Who
humble proof
knows
I
what they
have.
was dreaming up
Everything
while
else
they
that girl's
was
saying
on this
might
stuff?
be
Who
true,
knows?
but I'm
We
not
don't
going to
know.
sit here and allow
She
someone to
just
hijack the
she know
story
that
and the pain
she
of
when she was
another
on the drugs,
victim,
she remembers
while
not
they're
being able
literally
to move.
saying,
I'm
repeating
awoke and I know what's
propaganda
happening, but I can't make
about
myself
Cassie
stop.
that a lot of people say Diddy's people put out to justify that beating. They just had a bail hearing. Diddy's team did not say Cassie stole money from Diddy. They said it was a lover's quarrel because Cassie checked Diddy's phone. This is in the court transcripts. I did a live about it, reading it. Cassie checked Diddy's cell phone and got mad that Diddy was texting another woman. So she got mad and threw the cell phone at his head and grabbed her shit and ran out the hole. This is what the defense is actually saying. The prosecution is like, no, that's not what happened. She was fleeing because she didn't want to do the freak off, and he dragged her back to the freak off. They were like, no, the freak off's consensual. Even the defense, Diddy, who's desperate, didn't have the balls to repeat that lie that there was $100,000 cash in the book bag, and that's why he was beating her like not even a dog, beating her like a disgusting vermin, like he was trying to stomp out mice in the hallway. Yeah, exactly. Cassie was sneaking out. Anybody that you eyes, but again, I find it weird that she said she was there. Mesha said she was there in an interview, and she said that she knows for a fact, and that's what again, and that's what Cassie said. Again, you guys don't gotta argue with me. It's right here.
Now you just to confirm, you were the one that had the D&G tank top on, correct?
Yes, I was. Dawn saw me in the studio. She saw me. I put her in the documents. She saw me. Everybody I named, they saw me. Cassie saw me. When Cassie was running, Cassie was mad because she had to watch him fuck me on some. And she ran off with that motherfucking money. And that's money in that duffel bag she was running with.
You talking about in the hotel where she's getting beat?
Yeah, that's like it's old. Like she got beat. Like they just now putting the stuff out. But that's money that he keep in that duffel bag. She was trying to run with that money.
That's money that was in that duffel bag. She was trying. That's weird. You're doing all this and you doing. Again, Tashana Cobb said, I heard the snake venom. I forgot about that. Didn't want to bring it up. I heard the snake venom in the witch was, as well as the house on fire, came from the movie Blink Twice. I didn't see the movie or research it, but I saw that. Again, I saw those scenes in Blink Twice. They were very, very similar to everything Mesha was saying, but I don't know. Maybe they were based on true events. Maybe they were based on true events, right? Listen. Jamie's Lynn said there are no pics of Sarah Chapman pregnant. Do you guys know that Sarah Chapman was a real human being? Do you guys know that Sarah Chapman was all up and down Atlanta and New York while she was pregnant? Y'all realize that things take place outside of social media, right? You realize that, right? You realize that there are plenty of pics of Kim Porter pregnant. She also said the twins for her kids. Are y'all serious? Anyway, let's move on. There's no pics of Sarah pregnant. You realize that Sarah's an actual real life human being woman that was all over New York and Atlanta pregnant, and that Kim was all over the place too. and you realize there are a million eyewitnesses. Like, what?
10 more minutes.
When you say there are no pics of
wondering if
Sarah
I should cut it
pregnant,
in that, but we're gonna go all the way to the end.
realize
It's only
how
10
is
more
Chance
minutes,
20
and
years
I
old?
got
You
something to
realize
say.
people have seen pics of Mother's Day pics of kids. Like, anyway, y'all. Anyway, believe what y'all want to believe. Okay. Ooh. Anyway, listen. Listen. At the end, listen. At the end of the day, the fact that y'all, not y'all, but people are moving the goalposts. Now that we know that she's not the DNG, now y'all like, well, she still could be Chance's mother. And Jessie and Delilah's mom. Okay, maybe. But I will say, if anybody can tell Mesha 1-877-4-HSI-TIP 1-877 1-877-4 Homeland Security Investigations TIP, because I think they would be very, 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 very happy to hear from her. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen. Katasha said, what about the part when she said that she filed police reports back then?
I don't want to hit.
She lied about being the girl in the
DNG
DNG tank top.
man. They already,
she took somebody else's story about what happened to her with Harvey Pierre. She lied about the venom in the witch because it's a scene out of Blink Twice, or maybe it's based on her life. I don't know. She lied about being the twins' mother. You guys, that's Kim Porter's daughters. Y'all know that. She lied about being forced to carry the twins, right? I believe she lies about being Pumpkin's mom, but I'm not willing to die on that hill, because believe what y'all want to believe. I think that it is
I need to see that
plausible
movie
that she lied about filing a police report. I do think that she don't, if she is telling the truth, she don't have to wonder anymore. She can just go to 1-877-4-HSITIP 1-877-4-HSITIP. Diddy is in jail. And if she does have any evidence, go forth into the authorities. They will protect you. They will make sure justice is done. And what's more, you can get financial compensation. That I know money will never change trauma or erase trauma, but it will give you the resources to get the mental health support that every victim needs to rebuild their life. That's all I'm saying. Listen, at the end of the day, hey, Goddess Witch, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Listen, speak your truth, 638, to the art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Okay, from your words to God's ears. I get what you're putting down. Okay. The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Okay. Point taken. Listen, at the end of the day, I do want to also say too, Diddy's bots are out. Again, we saw Drake, how he just did a lawsuit about how people are buying bots to act like real people and put nonsensical comments. Again, Diddy's bots are out. They want to push this narrative.
Well, she is saying that the ex, I hope I'm saying this close enough so y'all can get the point that I'm not stating this as facts. But Mesha is saying that those are her babies because she got pregnant and, I don't know, carried it just to it growed. Then they took it out and put it in, I'm not going to call it an egg anymore, and put it in the other girl's body. But then she also said that she was full-blown pregnant. And she said, look at my stomach. They cut that baby out of me. Look at my stomach. You could tell I was pregnant. Look at her stomach. It looked like she was never pregnant. So, I don't know. Only thing I know is, Mesha, if you are telling the truth and if something did happen to you, you need to be quiet and talk to the right people first and not get on these podcasts and get people like me giving you information and giving you advice. I'm not a lawyer. You don't go to a podcast person to get legal advice. You wouldn't even go to her for legal advice. And I think she more of a lawyer than I am. She know what she talking about.
And Jessie and Delilah's mom? Okay, maybe. But I will say, if anybody can tell Mesha 1-877-4-HSI-TIP 1-877 1-877-4 Homeland Security Investigations TIP, because I think they would be very, 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 very happy to hear from her. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen. Katasha said, what about the part when she said that she filed police reports back then? She lied about being the girl in the D&G tank top. She took somebody else's story about what happened to her with Harvey Pierre. She lied about the venom in the witch because it's a scene out of Blink Twice, or maybe it's based on her life. I don't know. She lied about being the twins' mother. You guys, that's Kim Porter's daughters. Y'all know that. She lied about being forced to carry the twins, right? I believe she lies about being Pumpkin's mom, but I'm not willing to die on that hill because
I'm glad I kept going.
I think that it is plausible that she lied about filing a police report. I do think that if she is telling the truth, she don't have to wonder anymore. She can just go to 1-877-4-HSITIP 1-877-4-HSITIP. Diddy is in jail. And if she does have any evidence, go forth into the authorities. They will protect you. They will make sure justice is done. And what's more, you can get financial compensation. That I know money will never change trauma or erase trauma, but it will give you the resources to get the mental health support that every victim needs to rebuild their life. That's all I'm saying. Listen, at the end of the day, hey, Goddess Witch, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Listen, speak your truth, 638 said the art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Okay, from your words to God's ears. I get what you're putting down. Okay. The art of being wise is knowing what to overlook. Okay. Point taken.
I like that.
Listen, at the end of the day, I do want to also say too, Diddy's bots are out. Again, we saw Drake, how he just did a lawsuit about how people are buying bots to act like real people and put nonsensical comments. Again, Diddy's bots are out. They want to push this narrative. They want people to believe. What about this? Are there any actual pictures? Again, these bot farms are sophisticated. A misinformation campaign is very expensive, but it's worth every penny if it can keep you out of jail. It is worth every single penny. Okay. Listen, listen, at the end of the day, ignore the trolls. And I say that as someone that just read like 3 troll comments. I don't think they're real people. They are bots. They are spreading misinformation and they're trying to move the goalposts. Just stay woke. And again, some people are willingly involved in it, and some people are literally just putting their trust in the wrong people and maybe platforming people that they don't mean to, maybe believing people. I honestly don't know what is going to happen in the next few months, but I guarantee you it is going to be dirty and it is going to be full of lies. You are talking about a man that literally faked and forged evidence in a federal court and submitted fake evidence to call an emergency hearing. The feds just called him out. Diddy is unhinged. He said he wasn't. He has lied several times in court. I'll be surprised if the judge lets him out, but you never know. Listen, at the end of the day, exactly. Speak your truth 638 said, stay woke, people. The devil is a liar. It is. All right. It is. Listen, At the end of the day, thank you guys so much for joining me. I just wanted to put this out because I thought it was important to do. Stay woke, people. Investigate everything. Don't believe anything you hear. And that even includes me. Okay? That includes me. I give you what I think. I give you my research. Go do your own research and make up your own mind. Okay? But trust no one moving forward except what you verify on your own. I'm telling you. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. And Goddess Witch, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you everybody for joining. And yeah, let's get back to laughing at Drake because he is tripping and spiraling. Anyway, right? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Wow. Okay. I'm just going to sum it up, man. This has been a long video. We're coming up on 2 hours. So I'm just going to quickly sum up things. Marsha or anybody else, if you all are doing these podcasts to try to get your truth out, if it's your truth, you're going about it the wrong way. What you need to do is you need to talk to Homeland Security. You need to talk to don't go to the police. You already know where that took you. If this honestly happened to you, because now you, after looking at this video, now you straight up sound like a Diddy plant to spread wrong information. Diddy probably paid these people money. I'm just saying, this is what people think of you. I'm just saying, this is what people think. Diddy done paid you money so you can get on there and cry at the drop of the hat. The girls can cry at the drop of the hat and say, y'all don't believe it, this really happened. Or it could have really happened. Either way you look at it, you don't need to be going on a podcast talking about it. You need to be going to the right people. You need to ask these podcasters one thing. I need help. You should talk to a lawyer. Say, look here, lawyer, you ain't gonna take my case. I understand I don't have a lot of evidence. That's me in the picture. That's this, that, and third. I don't understand how this works. Only thing I know is something happened to me. Who do I need to turn to get help? Because it ain't the police. The police job is to lock you up and take you to court. Lock you up so get you prepared for court. That's what a police officer's job is. See, people think that police know it all. You know, I'm telling so many people that the police do not have to read you your rights before they take you to jail. You have a right to remain silent. I'm telling people this. And I'm telling them, please look it up. Don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. Because of Hollywood, it makes good script writing when they running after the bad guy and they put the cuffs on them and say, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say because they need dialogue. But reading a person their rights doesn't have anything to do with locking them up or arresting them. Reading them their rights is the Miranda rights, meaning before I question you, questions. I have to say this to you. And what makes it so bad is these smart people that think they know it all don't even know what the Miranda rights mean. They don't know the meaning behind it because they still talk. If you clearly know the meaning behind it, you wouldn't even say nothing, because whatever you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Whatever you say can and will be used against you. So why even freaking open your mouth? Especially when they just said you have the right to remain silent. Especially when they just said you have a right to remain silent, meaning you don't have to answer me, brother or sister, and you still talk anyway. Because the human being is so interested in getting their facts out to the world. This is why these girls are talking. This is why these people are talking. And they saying, and every time somebody says they lying, but they know they telling the truth, they want to prove that they telling the truth. And that's not how this game is played. This game is not played like that. But who am I? Who am I? I'm just a wise person that's telling you that you're doing it wrong. You need to go and talk to some lawyers. You need to go talk to some people that know for for a fact that you're doing it wrong, you know, that can probably explain you doing this wrong better than I can. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.